members of the Republic of the Brew Crew. Welcome back to another On Your Rocks featuring your boy Julian. And today we're playing a deck that's very near and dear to my heart. We are playing JUND Food, JUND Sacrifice, whatever you want to call it. This deck has been around for um, nearly a year now. First, kind of making its forays into standard with the release of Eldraine, and we have a lot of Eldraine cards here. So I'm going to go over the list I'm currently running real quickly, and then we'll jump into some games. And I think I'm going to give you guys a little history lesson on kind of how this deck has evolved. So I just retooled this recently because with the recent companion rule change as well as some bans for like Fires and Age of Treachery, this has become a deck that is actually playable tier 1, tier 2 or so, and there's been like a slightly new build. So the core of the deck is this stuff that has to do with food and then sacrificing. So Cauldron Familiar plus Witch's Oven is just, every turn you get 2 sacrifice triggers because you sacrifice the cat and then you sacrifice the food. So that's a drain plus 2 sacrifice triggers for things like Mayhem Devil, which gets to ping stuff. We also have Goose, which is your mana accelerant as well as a way to use create new foods and also sack foods. So that's once again another sacrifice trigger. And then Trail of Crumbs is also another part of the engine. Gives you a food when it comes in. Also kind of fits into that 2-drop slot. And then whenever we sack a food, which we'll be doing a lot, whether it's through Cat or through Goose, we can pay 1 and we can look at the top 2 cards and take a permanent from there. We're playing all permanents. Yes, all permanents. So we will always have something that we can get. And it just kind of helps us churn through our deck and get the next piece that's going to help bury our opponent under card advantage. So that's the core of the deck. And then we have a bunch of things that also just are kind of like the top end of the deck. So I really like Corvold, the Faker's King. This guy gets super big, super fast. He also draws you a bunch of cards. So he's just helping you churn through your deck, and then he's usually going to swing in undeterred. For a lot of damage. Also, I'm playing one Obosh. I'll discuss this a little bit later. I think Obosh is really good. Everything that's dealing damage, which it's whether it's a cat attacking in or a Mayhem Devil or a Corvold, it's all dealing double now thanks to Obosh. And then also one of Massacre Girl, which is nice to get in because that has menace, so it's hard to block. And also it's just nice kind of if things getting out of hand or if we're playing against an aggro deck, we can just drop Massacre Girl. She's going to clear everything up for us. She'll have all the blood on her hands and we won't. And then new addition to the deck, Bolus's Citadel. Obviously broken card, but has not seen a lot of play in standard. But it just helps us turn through our deck once again. So I've only played with this card a little bit. I'm hoping to show it off a little bit more today. So let's jump into some games and we'll talk about this deck overall. Food. So, like I said, this deck has been around since Eldraine, since we got Goose, Oven, Cat. Corvold was released in the Brawl deck, so Corvold wasn't actually initially picked up, but he was, let's see. This hand is doable. It's a little slow, but actually, what are we playing against? Yorion. All right, since we're playing against Yorion, which is like a real deck, I'm actually going to mulligan. All right, this hand is much better. We're going to keep 6. We're going to put Corvold on bottom, unfortunately, but we always want to have a Mayhem Devil. We always want to have a Goose. We have all of our mana. We're running 4 Fabled Passages, so we can get everything we need. So we'll play the Goose. And next turn, we might be set to play Mayhem Devil, depending on what happens. Like I was saying, though, so the JUND Food, the original list was kind of a Rakdos sack list that incorporated other that incorporated some of the new food cards, so Goose and things like that. Then they started adding Trail of Crumbs. They realized that Trail of Crumbs was just super powerful. It also was nice because it filled out that 2-drop slot on the curve, so if you didn't have a Goose on turn 1 or you wanted to wait to put your Devil down, you could do that. And then eventually people started realizing that we are just going to, this is one of the nice interactions, we're going to crack, we can ping. We're going to pull our mountain just so we have perfect mana. And we will not do that. We'll attack here. We'll be ready to make a food on our opponent's end step. And then next turn we're going to drop Treacherous Blessing, which I'll get to in a little bit. So anyway, like I was saying, That's super rude. I really hate these Slaughter Erasure decks. They're just so annoying, honestly. Because they're not actually doing anything, right? They're just preventing us from doing anything. Okay, well, this will do. We will drop Corvold. Ping. We're going to sack a land, which is a common play in this. Normally, I would have liked to actually sack Treacherous Blessing if I could have, but we're looking pretty good. Our opponent's not got much going on. Yeah, so once they kind of added Trail of Crumbs, you just realized that this deck was an absolute engine. And then Corvold, people realized that yes, this is technically a brawl card, but we'll play the Trail. We'll play the Goose. That gets us a sack. We're also going to pay for this. Get nice. Boom. Draw that. We'll play our land. We'll sacrifice it. Target here. And that should be enough to do it. If our opponent realizes. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we got it. So I realize I went through that a little bit quickly, but those are just some of the lines of play that we'll see when playing this deck. So after they adopted Corvold, and when Corvold was adopted, which was a little bit into the fall of last year, 2019, that's when I started playing this deck heavily, and it was just an absolute powerhouse. People started with 1 or 2 Corvolds, they went up to 3, then eventually they went up to 4. That was like really my first big mythic wildcard investment, was getting those 4 Corvolds and just slamming them into the deck, because I love that sort of thing. Most of my playtime really learning Magic has been through EDH, and Corvold's just like, it's actually a busted deck in EDH too. But so after that, it was pretty stagnant. It always remained at or near the top of the meta. There was actually a few major events in Pro Tours where it was a prominent player, and I think it even won one. I think Canister, famous streamer, won a Pro Tour with it. This is, what are we playing against? We're playing against Luris. All right, this seems fine against Luris. We'll try it. I'm running Paradise Druids in this deck. There has been times on and off when this deck has run Mana Dorks. I just wanted to add these just for extra consistency. Also, my mana base is not as tuned as it could be, just because I didn't want to invest the rare wild cards in all of the Shocklands. So I'm just running these. Helps us just accelerate a little bit. But yeah, as I was saying, the deck was pretty dominant through Theros, and then Theros was where it started to get really interesting. I tried out a bunch of different cards in Theros. If you saw the deck tech, you'll notice that Woe Strider I have in as a 3 or 4 of. That card is really powerful just because it gives us extra bodies. It gives us an ability to sack, a free ability to sack. So a lot of times, if we need to push through a few extra points of damage, we can just sack our entire board to a Woe Strider, and a Mayhem Devil will, you know, do all that extra damage and just kind of close out the game. This might be a short one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very aggro deck, and we don't have super great. We will play a Trail, play a Cult of Familiar. So now we can at least chump, bring him back, and even add the 1 to utilize our Trail. So that'll be good. Yes, so Woe Strider was an immediate include. I tried 2, then 3, then 4, and kept it at 4. We tried Dryad of the Elysian Groves, which is the thing that turns all your lands into all types, and then also you get an additional land drop. That was nice because it was just a nice roadblock for the aggressive decks, kind of like this one, although it wouldn't fare well against this. But so something like that, and also it fixed the mana, just because this deck did want to be playing, a 3-color mana base, so it was trying to do all sorts of things. My turn. We will sacrifice this food. Another thing about this deck is I've gotten really good at clicking everything I need to, especially like doing things like we don't need the other land because we have as much, so let's get a goose. Just clicking through ovens really quick and also targeting the Mayhem Devils. And then the last card that we got from Theros that was very cool was... I think we just want to play... Let's play the goose first. Because that gives us, once again, we can chump and do that. And then let's play the Treacherous Blessing. So this is the last card that we got, which is a card I really like. Really good rate, draws all the cards you need to, refills your hand. I'm playing 3 of these, I think. I've tried... Yeah, see, like, that was amazing to draw all 3 of those. What we really need now is, like, a oven or something. That would really get us in motion. Because once you have oven, cat, and mayhem devil, you can just go off. But yeah, this refills your hand. It's also really nice because you can play it, then turn after, play Corvold, and when Corvold enters, immediately sack this, and you only lose 1 life. And I really have found that generally, if you can be looping cat or have a consistent outlet for food like goose and just be sacking food every couple turns, the life loss from this doesn't really matter. But it is nice, and it's just, like I said, another permanent that you can sacrifice to Corvold, so it's good stuff. Let's see. So I'm actually feeling pretty confident with this. Our opponent's gaining a lot of life, but I think we are going to take over the board really quickly, and at that point, we can just grind them down. It doesn't really matter how much life they have. We'll block here, we'll block... Actually, I don't want to risk our goose just in case they have like a deadweight or something. But we'll just block the big thing. Get the Eidolon. Take some of the damage. And we will, of course, recur our cat like we did last time. Stem a little bit of the bleeding. Yes, let's pay. We'll take a forest. This deck is primarily a black-green deck at its core, but it has a few key cards that want red, so Mayhem Devil as well as Corvold. Let's play this. Let's play... Mayhem Devil. As well as... Let's see. Woe Strider? Yes. Yeah, because now we can do some sacking things and kill stuff. I think I want to probably kill the Alseid. Yeah. And then next turn we can start getting funky. We can start generating with our goose. And also maybe try and get Obosh down, or at least another druid. We're pretty lucky that our opponent has not played another land. I mean, they've been doing plenty of work just with 2, but them not being able to deploy more threats and also get Lurrus into their hand is great. Although the minute Lurrus comes down, you know we're sacking some things to just get that out of here, because that... Yes, it took a nerf with the rules change, but it's still just so powerful. Our opponent's thinking really hard. So anyway, after... Oh, another interesting thing that this deck did play for a while was there was various amounts of Massacre Girl. I was playing as many as only 2, just because it's a nice kind of sweeper effect, but it's a little bit more on the expensive side of the deck. Okay, so they're suiting their boy up anymore. They're going to gain more life, but that's really fine. They're targeting Alseid, which once again is fine. Alright, we'll past blockers. We will block here. And yeah, so we'll block. And then we're going to sack here. So we'll sack here. Target this. Let's just get this out of here so it's not pumping anymore. That's a great, oh, yeah, we definitely want that. So that's a great part of this deck is that it just grinds and grinds and grinds and is really able to just kind of nickel and dime our opponent out of the game, either from a behind board state or just make sure that they never can develop a board state and we can just keep getting in, because I've just definitely won games off the back of just attacking with Mayhem Devil a few turns in a row for 12 and 15 damage or whatever, and then the rest of it is just you just sack stuff and you're good to go. All right, let's play this. Let's play the oven. Let's make a food. Let's play the Paradise Druid. We are actually losing a lot of life. I should watch this a little bit. Should definitely watch this. So let's just do this now. Sack this. Deal 2. Deal 1 here. We'll auto pay. We will get another Trail of Crumbs, because having another food would be great for us. And then we'll just do this now. Sacrifice. Right there. Okay, so they're just gonna... They actually sacrificed that, so now we just get to deal 1 to them, which doesn't really matter much. But now we have the All-Seed out of the way. They're naming protection from red. That doesn't matter because we're not doing anything else this turn. We can, when they come in, we can pull the cat back in, block, probably sack with Ghost Rider just to see what's up. And then now that we've got our engine, we can continually make foods here or through trail. And then we're good to go. I totally lost my train of thought. I was discussing... Oh, for a while we were running Thrashing Brontodons. I ran anywhere between 2 and 3. Those are really good because they hit fires while it was still legal. They hit opposing glass caskets, which hits basically all the important stuff in our deck. They hit... Banishing Lights didn't see that much play, but they hit Banishing Lights. Occasionally an Elspeth Conquers Death, so they wouldn't get the tax or the reanimation. So that was another cool include. There's been a lot of subtle includes over the years for this deck. We will bring our cat back. Just do 1 here. Yeah, we'll pay 1. Oh, we definitely want a Corvold. Definitely want a Corvold. And then after that, after Theros kind of developed for a month or so, and there was a lot of the ramp decks running around, Uro-based decks, Bant decks, and also Teferi was obviously a problem. The great thing about this, though, is that we can sack all this stuff, so our opponent does not gain this life, which is nice. It's not good when you're facing down an Embercleave and there's, you know, trample and stuff like that. We don't need that land. We have plenty. That's another great thing about this deck is if it gets going even a little bit, you don't really have to worry about lands because you find them all, plus you have ramp like this. But yeah, after Theros was out for a brief moment, I think I'm just going to... I'm going to slam Corvold. Sacrifice his Treacherous Blessing. It's done enough damage to us. And now I have to do the math. We can do enough to actually kill this. Can we do 6? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could do enough, but it messes with our board a little bit too much. I'd have to probably sack a Goose and a Druid as well as doing... Alright, well now, I kind of regret that. Let's do this again. I'm just going to start throwing damage at this thing and see if we can get all the way there. Sometimes that's the best play. Because we'll just get another black. We'll play the trail. Sometimes that's just the best play because sometimes you see lines halfway through that you don't realize. All right, we'll sack a food. Corvold also is getting bigger and drawing his cards this whole time, which is just phenomenal. I actually have almost decked myself before trying to do this. So let's see. Can we... So we're gonna get 1, 2 more sacks, 3 more sacks. That's enough. Okay, so we're gonna pay for this one. We'll get another Fabled Passage, which is nice. We're not gonna pay for this one. I keep keeping this up just in case he has something where he gives it protection from black, and then we have to block with the green thing, and I don't really want to block with the Goose. I'd rather block with the Druid, although this changes everything. Okay, I'm fine tapping the Druid for this. Sack the cat. Target here. Draw. Sack food. I've gotten fairly proficient at this thing. Target here. Sometimes our clicks don't register though. Also, great thing about having multiple Corvolds, people love to just kill Corvold, like you slam it down, you get the card off the draw, but they'll kill it before you can actually attack with it. Well, now we're drawing through here. If they decide to kill this, we can just slam another one, and then usually they concede. All right, let's do this. Come on, another thing here. My opponent is going to draw a bunch of cards from this. I guess only 2 cards, but opponent really is taking their time with this. It also gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Now you're choosing to do this? Okay, well. Now I'm just going to bring it in to block you, so we're good here. We don't need to do anything else. Yeah, it does have indestructible. Alright, we're not attacking. No attacks. We will end turn. We got to discard. We will just discard some of our lands. Sure. Just make it bigger. Discard here and discard here. So I think next turn what we're going to do is we're going to drop this Obosh and really put the pain down on our opponent. Okay, they're going to tap a creature. Probably our Corvold? Okay. Okay. Are they forgetting that we have a cat in the oven? What are you going to name? Well, this is unfortunate. Is there a way to get out of this? don't think so. Alright, well, they got us. Shouldn't have tapped that Paradise Druid. But, it's fine. I don't think our plays were incorrect. I think we just... I don't know. You can't account for that sort of thing. That's fine. Alright, let's get another game. Let's bring it back, because that was really a dominating play for us, and we should have won. Karma should have been in our favor. Alright, this seems like a good hand. We're going to search for a swamp, then play a Paradise Druid, then play probably a Woe Strider, or maybe 2 Trail of Crumbs, depending on our land situation. We don't need to hide anything. We will get our swamp, pass our turn, and then I think, if I remember correctly, so yes, so once Theros kind of got its proper hold and was doing that sort of thing, this deck kind of fell out of favor. Some people were still playing it occasionally, but it was not showing nearly as well as it used to. And then once Ikoria came around, and we had, and even right before Ikoria, when Fires was really coming into its prime and being oppressive nearly. We're going to play the cat as well as a trail, just because I want to get in some damage. Actually, do I want to get in some damage? Let's just establish our cats. We're not going to really outrace this sort of deck, assuming they're doing the same thing that our previous opponent was doing. So let's just play all our cards out and get our engine going, and then we can start attacking if we really need to. But yeah, once those fire decks and those other ramp decks and stuff all came into the prime, this deck kind of fell out of favor. And then once Ikoria came around and there was Jeskai Luca and companions and all that sort of stuff, this deck was essentially non-existent. I'm sure there were some brave souls who were playing it. Kudos to them, but I was not. I hopped off the train at that point. Alright, a Mayhem Devil would be sweet right now. That's super rude. That is super rude. Alright, so we are going to... Well, if they want to trade, that's fine for us. We'll get our Woe Strider down. And we'll just put the beat down back on them, because one Healer's Hawk before they play their All Day Glitters. Also, Purifying Light. That's new tech. It does have protection from black, which beats basically all our deck. But I'm not super concerned. His Ghost Form. But once the companion ban was lifted, I think I should just scry. I feel like you should always just scry with this. That's pretty good. Yeah, we'll take that. We will slam that. There we go. We will play the red that we need. And we'll just leave this up so that we can activate our trail when we sack our cauldron and bring it back. Sure. I'm excited to play this Massacre Girl because it's going to absolutely demolish what our opponent's doing. Yep. 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 Okay, so we're going to sack a cat. Scry. We don't need that land. We have enough lands. We are going to bring a cat back. We are going to pay for it. We're going to get another cat. Nice. Just play all the cats. So let's figure out exactly how many. So, unfortunately, we are going to lose our Woe Strider. Actually, we will play this just to thin our deck a little bit, make our Trail of Crumbs a bit better. Get our Swamp. So, we can play Massacre Girl. Massacre Girl will cut 1 to everything, which means that this will take 1 and die. That dying means that everything else will take another 1, which will kill our Woe Strider, and then that dying will kill this. So we can actually sack both of our cats. And we will just have them in the graveyard for now. What are they thinking about? And the next turn we can play, yeah, we want that. I guess I'll just keep the cat. It doesn't hurt us since we know that we have what we want, just in case they have some sort of like weird pump spell. Normally I would have liked to attack in there, but since this has Pro Black, it's not going to help us. So that'll kill that, and then we will get that. But then, not to worry about this, this will come back. But, oh, it'll actually get hit again. Okay, amazing. I did not realize that interaction was going to happen. I was going to say we were just going to have Mayhem Devil, and we'll just be able to ping it down. But that was a favorable interaction, and now we have this, which can just... Alright, so they are going to have that, but that's not really a problem for us. We are going to play... Let's see, we can play a cat. This. A trail. Actually, let's play cat. And a goose. So that we can pay for our other trail. When we need to. We will get in there for 4. And that's it. And then we'll have this one on the ready to bring back ping. Oh, yeah, there they go. They saw the writing on the wall. Alright, that is how we drew it up. That's how it should go. And I think I will finally get to finish my history lesson. I'll stop getting sidetracked. Once the companion ban happened, or not the ban, but the errata, and the ban of fires, as well as Agent of Treachery, this deck has finally made a comeback. It is, I want to say, tier 1.5. It's not really near the top decks, but it has made good showings. And people are now playing. Oh, that is a good hand. We have Goose, we have Oven, we have Mayhem Devil. Now we just need a cat or something else. We will shock. We'll play our Goose. Depending on what our opponent plays, we will play Mayhem Devil next turn, but it's not always great to run it out if you don't already have the engine going. But we'll just run it out. They're playing Sultai. Okay. Yep. We'll just do this. Because next turn we can make a food and also sack our favorite passage. If we want to. Or we can just play another one of these. Play this. Play another Mayhem Devil. Get in there. Oh, did not need to do that with the Goose, but I guess sending a message, as I like to say. Sending a message. I have a long history of attacking with Merfolk Secret Keepers. But yeah, people have started playing this deck again. They've started using... That's fine, we have 2 of them. They have started using Bolas's Citadel, which I have recently just included. And apparently it's doing pretty good. I have lost to the Bolas's Citadel version a few times. We're only going to attack here with this because we want to do, we also want to have this on deck just in case we need to ping or whatever. So yeah, I'm happy that this deck is making a comeback. I don't know how viable it's going to be post-rotation in the fall. Alright, let's sack this first. How much loyalty does this have? So we'll ping this down, which is great. We will get. I guess it doesn't matter. We usually want swamps, and we have multi-lands here. And then we'll just sack this and ping them, which is great. We will make a food. Love to do our trail. Alright, well, that's annoying. We'll pop this down and just tapped, and I think we're actually going to activate the Castle Lock Dwayne. Do we have enough? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have enough to activate the Castle Lock Dwayne, which is good stuff. I don't think it's going to survive post-rotation because it'll lose all the shock lands, which are really important. You can play temples, but this deck really wants to be hitting its land drops just because you want to be able to get things like Mayhem Devil on turn 3 or so, Goose on 1, Cat on 1, all that sort of stuff. Although, and then it'll lose Mayhem Devil, which is super important. So I don't know if this deck will survive. If there's some other sort of... Are we really doing that? Is that what we're doing? Alright, that's Oh, I guess I should have sacked. That's fine. Yeah, I really should have sacked that because now they can play this. That was a bad on my part. We will draw though. Okay, got another goose. And got a Woe Strider. Alright, sweet. So we'll play the goose. Play the Strider. And we will drop a land down. Do they have enough? They do not have enough for Uro yet. I know I should have sacked this, but it's not. The Murder Strider is kind of inconsequential, really. So another Uro. Okay, these Uros are just a little bit annoying because green blue is the best strategy, and everyone can just play this and it just does everything. They just play 4 of it, just like whatever, and then they can just bring it back. That's the one thing that this deck doesn't have. That it would be nice if there was just an incidental creature that had value like that. Alright, let's sack this, see what we have going on. We definitely don't need another land. We have already hit our quota for lands. Alright, and I will make sure to sack this time. That's what I'm talking about. That's a Corvold. What are the odds that this is... So let's see. Yeah, we're just going to slam the Corvold. We have to apply pressure. We just have to pray that they don't have anything that's going to cause us problems. I'm not going to shock. And I'm not going to play the Paradise Druid because another great interaction is that Goose, you can tap and sack for a mana. And then I don't actually know what I'm saying because we don't have a Trail of Crumbs out. But if we did, they sack another permanent. They're going to sacrifice the land. That's fine. I would do that as well. Alright, well. Actually, I'm going to sack this for mana though, because I want to draw an extra card on Corvold. And I think I might actually sack a food here to draw another card. And then I'm going to sack here. We'll actually get 2 foods because Corvold is big boy. Alright, so we've got 2 cats, which is nice. Ooh, Vivian monster, that would be not nice. That's a problem. All these planeswalkers are pissing me off, man. Cat. Do we have enough for both? Cool. Strider. We don't actually have any ways to get things back to the grave, so it doesn't really matter what we do. And then I'll play Paradise Druid too. We'll just have everything. of our board going on. Sure, play your Ghost Spiral. They're probably going to escape an Uro this turn, which is fine. I'm totally fine if they want to sacrifice their Vraska to kill something of ours. Oh, they're just gonna play another Uro. Oh, they are escaping it. They are escaping it. Okay. We can chump that for days. It is going to be gaining all that life, obviously, but okay. So the cool thing is they don't have anything else. They're empty-handed right now, except for that Uro in their graveyard, which they cannot. Ah, that's super rude of you, sir. Okay. That's good stuff. I guess I could have optimized that a little bit better. There's no reason for me to really go through all that, but it's fine. I can still chump block and all that sort of stuff. Okay, I am going to... Actually, I do not need to do that because I know what I have on top and I want it. I'll play this land, I'll play this Corvold, I'm going to happily sacrifice the mountain. I'm going to draw a Trail of Crumbs, which is phenomenal. And I'm just going to say go. No reason for me to attack. Do these... This one has reach, and this one also has... They both have reach, okay. But I can attack past them. Okay, so I hope they know that I can... Alright, well, let's... Wait, hold up. Yes, I want to use... Yes, I want to use the ability. I'm going to sack this cat. We'll see what we have on top. Great. Love it. That's what we're looking for. We will sack another cat. Yep, that's good too. We'll bring a cat back in. Sacking. The pie is definitively the best food art, so I try to keep the pies around when I can. Yes, I will pay one. Oh, Bolus is Citadel. Alright, so now we're really cooking. So, now we get to show that off. Oh, and we drew a goose. That's sweet. Alright, so let's now block with our Corvold and see what the heck's going on. They don't have enough things in their graveyard to escape. So... So you want to do that. That's fine. I'm gonna do some more of this just to draw more cards. Massacre Girl seems great. Massacre Girl might actually kill everything. That's fine too. Okay. So that was that. Alright, well they don't know we have Mayhem Devil, so I'm going to play Mayhem Devil and ping down Gideon. not Gideon, Vivian. Because we should have enough to do that. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can do it. All right, so let's play Mayhem Devil first. Please don't have a counterspell or something. There's that. Goose. And he just conceded. Alright, totally fine with me. It's honestly not fun playing against the Sultai decks because they're just... everything they play is just stupid high power level, just value, 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 and it's, you know, whatever. Alright, well, that was what? I think we went 3-1, and that one game we should have won, except for they had the protection spell. Not a bad run. Pretty happy. Glad to see that this deck is alive and kicking. Probably going to bring it back to the ladder a bit more. And happy to give you guys a little history lesson. Definitely should try this deck out, especially if you have the cards. Let me just pull the list up one more time so that you can see it. Here's what we're looking. Never did get to go off with Bolas' Citadel, but that's fine. It is only a 2 of, and it's our most expensive card. The deck needed what it did to do. There's plenty of Corvolds. Here's the mana base, just so you can see it. And of course, the deck list will be in the article description. So, anyway, that's Julian. This has been the Brew Crew on the Rocks, signing out.